Most people think the Chicago Southwest suburbs are these boring bedroom communities, but these areas are about to become major destination hubs. New Lenox is getting a $70 million sports complex that's expected to bring in 600,000 visitors annually. Frankfort's home prices jumped 6.9% in 1 year, and there's $662 million worth of infrastructure upgrades happening all at once. Today, I'm going to show you how the Southwest suburbs of Chicago are going to change forever. So here's the thing. I've been driving through New Lenox a lot lately because I live very close, and there's orange cones everywhere. Absolutely everywhere you look. But this made me realize that most people have absolutely no idea about the massive transformation that's going to take place across the Chicago Southwest suburbs in 2025. While Chicago proper faces challenges with tax issues and affordability problems, the Southwest suburbs are experiencing what I like to call a perfect storm of development, investment, and growth. We're seeing development that's been planned for years finally come to fruition all at once. I've been selling real estate in this area for the better part of a decade, and the level of construction that we're seeing right now is something we haven't seen since before the 2008 housing crisis. So today I'm going to break down the 8 major factors that are going to completely reshape the Chicago Southwest suburbs in 2025. And at the end, I'll tell you exactly which areas that I would be personally investing in right now. So stick around to the end so you don't miss it. One thing that's going to shock you in 2025 is what I like to call the construction cone corridor, which is a wave of infrastructure projects that are all happening simultaneously across the Southwest suburbs. If you've driven through the area recently, you've probably noticed a lot of construction, but trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. Let's break down what's coming. In New Lenox, we've got major construction happening on Lairway Road, from Jackson Branch Creek to Cedar Road. This has an expected completion date of summer of 2025, and this is going to be a huge improvement for the area. It's going to make commutes smoother, and it's going to make it easier to access the interstate. Also in New Lenox, they're installing a roundabout at Cedar Road and Haven Avenue to make easier traffic flow in that area. That's expected to be completed in the fall of 2025. They've already started construction several weeks ago. This intersection has been a pain point for locals for years, and I can tell you personally, driving in that area, going from a busy street into the residential area, so these improvements are going to make a huge difference for the better. Now over in Homer Glen, Bell Road is getting completely reconstructed from 159th to 151st Street. If you live around there, you know how badly this stretch of road needs work, and it's finally happening. And Bell Road and 143rd Street in Homer Glen are getting major intersection improvements. Although unfortunately that's not supposed to be completed until 2027. So that's a longer term project, but it's still part of this massive infrastructure push. Lockport has so many projects happening, it's crazy. They've got a $6.2 million Briggs Street lift project, a new I&M Canal bike stop, and a Lincoln Landing pedestrian bridge replacement over the I&M Canal. And they're doing a complete reconstruction of 11th Street with a water main replacement. That's a ton for one community to handle all at once. Even Metro's getting in on the action, with rail crossing replacements and signal upgrades on the Southwest service line, so public transportation is getting a boost too. Guys, I know construction is annoying. It's literally the bane of my existence, but trust me, here's why this matters for your property values. These infrastructure improvements are laying the groundwork for all the economic development that I'm about to show you. Now, if you think that's a lot, wait until you hear about the economic engines that are about to transform these communities. Now, my family and I, we've been living in Frankfort for the last year, and we lived in Mokina for the last 5 years before that. And I've never been more excited than what I'm seeing coming to the Southwest suburbs. If you want to stay in the loop on all these incredible updates that's happening in these neighborhoods, and trust me, there's more coming, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I mean, where else can you get this level of local insight from someone who actually lives here every single day and has an inside track on what's going on and what's coming to the community? Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Now, the second factor that's going to shock you is how quickly these Southwest suburbs are shedding their bedroom community image. They're developing unique economic identities that will completely change how people see these areas. The biggest game changer is what's happening in New Lenox. It's the $70 million Crossroads Sports Complex. The thing's massive. It's 100 acres with outdoor fields, and it's opening this month here in July of 2025. There's also a phase 2 fieldhouse plan, but the timeline for that is not announced. It's undetermined at this point. But what's crazy is that there's already tournaments booked from this month through June of next year. And officials are projecting that it could attract over 600,000 visitors annually once all the phases are completed. There's even talks of a hotel plan nearby to accommodate all these new visitors that are going to be coming in. Now, this complex is strategically located near I-80, and I-355. Now, this is going to help attract regional visitors without impacting the local roads. It's literally right off 355 and Southwest Highway exit. This isn't just a park, it's an economic engine for the entire community. But that's not all that's happening in the Chicago South Burbs. Next door in Frankfort, they're continuing to diversify the commercial offerings with a new Chick-fil-A that was recently put in, and other recent additions in downtown Frankfort like Rustic Need, Nautical Bowls, Senso Sushi. There's also a 7 Brew Coffee going in over on Route 30, just west of where they put in the new Andy's Custard last year. Just a ton of stuff coming to Frankfort. And if you haven't heard of The Loft, they completely redid the old bowling alley in downtown Frankfort. It's got this incredible vibe. I was in there last week with my family. We bowled, ate some dinner, ate some apps, had some drinks, great food, and a full bar. The vibes are immaculate in there. And it's not just a place to bowl. There's a lounge area. Like I said, great bar. A lot of people just come there to hang out, have some apps, have some drinks, have a great time. Can't recommend it enough. Now over in Homer Glen, their town center visioning process will reach critical milestones in 2025, laying the groundwork for future development. This is something I've been watching closely because it has huge potential to reshape the community's identity. And in unincorporated Will County near Lamont, there's a potential 13-acre industrial development site that's near I-355 and I-55 that could support up to 200,000 square feet of warehouse space, distribution, or light manufacturing. So let's hope that that comes along fast because again, that's more jobs, more economic growth for the community. So what I'm seeing in each of these communities are strategic in developing these economic niches like sports tourism, diverse dining, and light industrial, which creates more resilient economies and establishes them as destinations, not just a place to sleep, hence the bedroom communities. So we'll see more of that in a second, but let's talk now about how these changes are affecting the housing market. So the third factor that might shock you is that despite all the construction and all the changing, the South Suburbs housing market is incredibly strong. Check out these numbers from early 2025. In Frankfort, the median home price hit over $485,000, up 6.9% from last year. That's substantial appreciation in just 1 year, especially seeing the correction that the housing market has seen across other areas in the country. Properties are selling in just 20 days on average, which tells you that demand is still very strong in this area. Now in New Lenox, the median price reached up to $427,000 in March 2025, with some recent sources reporting up to $455,000. So that's up over 3.5% from last year. The most competitive homes went under contract in as little as 9 days, though the overall average skewed higher for some outliers, up at 79 days. Now Mokina's median price is up around $404,000, which is up 5.2%. which makes it a slightly more affordable option, seeing some healthy appreciation. Now keep in mind, these median home values are also taking into account condos and townhomes, which skew those results a little bit lower. So if you're looking for a detached single family home, just shoot me an email and I'll give you some more accurate numbers for detached single family homes because those are going to run a little bit more expensive. All these markets are firm sellers markets, which is a little bit different from some neighborhoods within the actual city of Chicago, which have their own individual markets, in which some of those are actually buyers markets. What's really interesting is that this strong market persists even as new developments are being planned and built. In Lockport, for example, the Sadie Ridge housing development with over 260 units received concept approval in December of 2024, with the final site plan review supposedly completed in spring of this year, and construction likely to begin early in 2026. So if you're thinking about buying in these areas, don't expect prices to drop anytime soon. The demand's just too strong. What I'm seeing with my clients is that people are willing to deal with temporary construction hassles for the long-term benefits of these improved communities. But don't choose just yet. Wait till we break down my top 3 neighborhoods of choice. The fourth factor that's going to surprise a lot of people is how downtown areas across the Southwest Suburbs are being completely reimagined as vibrant experience centers. In Lockport, they're partnering with the RTA on an equitable transit-oriented development plan for the downtown metro station area. In 2025, they're supposed to be doing feasibility analysis and community engagement to integrate transit, land use, and economic development. I'm super excited for this one too because Lamont completed its downtown parking and civic space study and is moving into implementation in 2025 to improve the access and public gathering spaces. They're also planning a Stephen Street trail bridge that will physically link downtown Lemont to extensive regional trail networks, guys. If you haven't been to downtown Lemont lately, you're missing out because it's already such a charming area, and these improvements are just going to make it better and take it to the next level. Now, Frankfort's 2040 comprehensive plan, adopted in 2019, explicitly targets the maintenance and enhancement of downtown Frankfort with recent additions of public parking to improve the accessibility. The Frankfort downtown area is already one of my favorite places to spend time in the Southwest suburbs. If you've been following this channel at all, you've heard me talk about downtown Frankfort ad nauseum, and I'll continue to do so because it's just an awesome place. And I'll talk about it a little bit later on in this video as well. And while we also have Mokina, which is supporting downtown revitalization through its active facade/sign grant program, an ongoing planning effort focused on the metro station area. What's really interesting is that these aren't just aesthetic improvements. These communities are taking a holistic approach that extends beyond retail to include pedestrian experience, public spaces, entertainment, and connections to broader transportation networks. They're creating experiential downtowns that attract visitors for reasons beyond just shopping. Now, by the end of 2025, these downtowns will feel significantly more vibrant, walkable, and connected. This is attracting a whole new demographic looking for that urban/suburban lifestyle. But it's not just about downtown areas, guys. Let's talk about the quality of life that you'll find in these areas in the months and years to come. The fifth factor that I'll talk about is the major enhancement of recreational opportunities across this region. So Frankfort, for instance, is anticipating the grand reopening of Prairie Park after extensive renovations. The Frankfort Square Park District is actively redeveloping Hunter Prairie Park with new amenities like a playground, multi-use path, athletic netting for batting cages, and much more, with completion expected by the end of July of this year. Now, trail development is another big priority, and Frankfort's integrated path expansion into its Pfeiffer Road project is something I'm also excited to talk about because I love running and walking on these paths on the weekends and whenever I can sneak it in during the week. Having these interconnected trail systems is going to make it possible for people to bike from one community to another without ever having to get on a main road and risk getting smoked by a car or something terrible like that. Head back over to Lemont. Their Stephen Street Trail Bridge will, in the near future, provide a crucial link from downtown to regional networks. Lockport's also completing a new I&M bike canal stop in May of 2025 and is replacing the 8th Street pedestrian bridge at Lincoln Landing, with a construction expected to begin this year if it hasn't already begun already. Now, entertainment venues are expanding too. Frankfort's Township Event Center is available for rentals. The Forge Adventure Park in Lemont and the Loft Bowling Alley in Frankfort provide dedicated entertainment venues. The Forge Adventure Park is insane. If you haven't seen it, it's a complete marvel to look at. It's a massive outdoor adventure center with zip lines, climbing walls, all kinds of activities, and it's already bringing visitors from all over the state and even some states surrounding. This wave of investment in parks, interconnected trails, and community gathering spaces is making the Southwest suburbs even more attractive, particularly for families and those that are seeking active lifestyles. Now let's talk about something that might not seem exciting at first, but is quietly reshaping these communities, which is the sixth factor: how sustainability initiatives are moving from planning documents to visible reality across the Southwest suburbs and are making a dent. The Frankfort's 2040 comprehensive plan we saw earlier has a dedicated green initiative section that outlines goals for open space, energy efficiency, water protection, waste reduction, green infrastructure, and emissions reduction. In Lockport, the Milne Creek Stabilization Project will directly address the water quality protection and erosion control. This has been something that's been needed for years, and it's finally happening. Homer Glen incorporates conservation subdivision design principles into its development process and has village code chapters addressing tree preservation and water resource management. Homer Glen has always been known for its commitment to its natural spaces, and they're doubling down on that identity. Lastly, Kalis Park's Western Growth Area Master Plan emphasizes preserving open spaces and waterways within the new developments. This emphasis suggests that sustainability is becoming an integral part of the development process, not just an add-on. In 2025, we're likely to see higher environmental standards and stricter enforcement for new projects, along with more visible green infrastructure. This is leading to more innovative but also more complex developmental projects. I've noticed this shift in my conversations with buyers too. Hardly anybody asked about sustainability features in homes or neighborhoods. Now it's always coming up in conversation. All right, so before we check out my final recommendations, let's shift gears and look at the bigger picture about how all these changes are coordinated. Something interesting regarding my seventh prediction is that all these changes aren't happening randomly. Okay, they're the result of a coordinated planning effort by counties and regional agencies communities all coming to fruition in 2025. Will County's massive transportation improvement plan, for example, is driving those major road projects that we talked about earlier. They're investing $662 million in 2025 alone to improve the access and reduce congestion countywide. For the Cook County suburbs, the 2025 to 2029 consolidated plan is directing a substantial portion of its funding to the Southwest suburbs, targeting infrastructure upgrades, affordable housing, and commercial revitalization. Over 60% of the Invest in Cook transportation grants have gone to high-need communities in the region. The Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, or CMAP, is developing a new regional transportation plan throughout 2025 that will provide the long-term strategic direction for transit, walking, and biking across the northeastern portion of Illinois. And then we have all the local comprehensive plans: Frankfort's 2040 plan, Palos Park's Western Growth Area Master Plan, new Lenox comprehensive plan update from July 2024, and ongoing updates in places like Mokina. This coordinated approach magnifies the impact of individual projects, creating a region-wide transformation that's basically unprecedented in its scope. Now, based on all these factors, let me finally tell you which suburbs I think offer the best opportunities here in 2025. Coming strong in at number 3 is Lamont. Lamont has strong commercial development potential with its strategic location near major interstates. Downtown revitalization efforts, including the Centennial building renovation, are underway and will be game changers for the community's appeal. They've already got existing amenities like the Forge Adventure Park that are already drawing visitors, and there's potential for nearby industrial development that could bring high-paying jobs. I showed a property in Lamont last week to a couple moving in from the city, and they were just blown away by the charm of downtown and the access to nature. They ended up making an offer on that house the same day because they just loved it so much. Now for number 2, New Lenox. The Crossroads Sports Complex is a game changer for the local economy. The housing market is incredibly strong, with homes possibly selling within 9 days, although the average can be a bit higher, of course, because of some outliers. They've got major infrastructure improvements underway, including the Laraway Road reconstruction, and the location is perfect with access to I-80 and I-355. Just great stuff. Finally, in my number 1, you guessed it, it's Frankfort. Frankfort tops my list because it has balanced commercial growth with a mix of national chains and local businesses. The housing appreciation is strong at 6.9% year over year, with median prices over $485,000. Prairie Park renovations and the Pfeiffer Road extension improve the quality of life. There's a strong community vibe here with events and gathering spaces. And the forward-thinking comprehensive plan through 2040 shows they're planning for sustainable long-term growth. The sense of community here is incredible. The events downtown almost every weekend, the schools are excellent, and the mix of old and new development gives the community phenomenal character. So of course, each of these communities offers something unique depending on your priorities, but I believe they represent the best combination of current value and future potential in the Southwest suburbs. So there you have it, guys. The 8 major factors that are going to transform the Chicago Southwest suburbs in 2025. Unprecedented infrastructure development, new economic anchors, strong housing market dynamics, downtown revitalization, recreational improvements, green initiatives, regional planning efforts, and my top South suburb recommendations. But here's the thing that makes 2025 truly shocking. It's not just any single project, right? It's the convergence of so many changes happening all at once. So if you're thinking about making a move to any of these incredible Southwest suburbs, or if you're already living here and just wondering how these changes might affect your property value, here's the thing. I'd absolutely love to help you navigate this market. Just shoot me an email at john@cintichrealestate.com and I'll take care of you. And speaking of making smart real estate decisions in these Southwest suburbs, with all these incredible developments I just showed you happening in 2025, you might think prices are going crazy, right? But there's still amazing opportunities here to get incredible value for your money in all of these markets. I actually put together a complete breakdown of what $500,000 can get you across different South suburb communities, and some of the options are definitely going to shock you. So click right up here and don't miss that one. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.